Welcome to New York City, the city that never sleeps. If you're planning your first trip to NYC, this video will tell you everything you need to know from getting in from the airport to mastering the subway, finding the best neighborhoods to stay in, and avoiding rookie mistakes. Let's start with how to actually get into the city. New York has three main airports: JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark Liberty, and each one connects to Manhattan a little bit differently. If you are flying into JFK, you'll land out in Queens. The cheapest way into Manhattan is by taking the air train at JFK from your terminal to Jamaica Station or Howard Beach, then transferring to the subway. Usually the E or the A train. It'll cost you about $12 total and usually takes about 50 minutes to about an hour and 15 depending on exactly where you're headed. It's reliable, it runs all night, and it's perfect if you are traveling light. If you've got luggage or you're landing late, the yellow cab flat fare to Manhattan is around $70 plus tolls and tips. Expect the ride to take about 45 to 90 minutes depending on traffic, and ride shares like Uber or Lyft are basically similar in price, but sometimes a little bit cheaper off peak. Now, LaGuardia is actually the closest airport to Manhattan. It's also in Queens, but there's no direct train link yet. The easiest public transport route is the LaGuardia Link Q70 bus, which takes you straight to Jackson Heights, where you can hop on the subway. That whole trip costs about $2.90 and takes roughly 45 to 60 minutes in total. But if you'd rather not juggle your bags on the bus, a taxi or Uber will run you about $35 to $45 and can be as quick as 20 minutes in light traffic, or of course a lot longer during rush hour. And then there's Newark Liberty Airport across the river in New Jersey. The simplest route into the city is to take the air train Newark from your terminal to the NJ Transit Station, then hop on a train bound for Penn Station in Midtown Manhattan. The whole journey costs about $16 and usually takes about 45 to 60 minutes door to door. There's also an express bus to Port Authority bus terminal for about $18, but it can take up to 75 minutes if traffic's heavy. If you're leaning towards taking a taxi for convenience, it'll cost you anywhere from $80 to $100 depending on your final destination and time of day. So to sum up, JFK is best for budget-friendly options with clear public transport. LaGuardia is quickest for short hops, and Newark offers an easy train ride straight into Midtown. Next up, once you've made it into Manhattan, let's talk about how to get around, because the subway might look really intimidating, but once you know how it works, it really is your best friend in the city. So let's break down how they work, how to pay, and other tips to help you feel prepared before you get into the city. For most rides on the subway or bus, the fare is $2.90 for one ride. If you're on an express bus route, which usually crosses boroughs or uses highways, expect to pay about $7. And paying for public transport couldn't be any easier. All you do is you use your tap to pay contactless credit or debit card, like Apple Pay, Google Pay, whatever it may be, at the reader. There is no need to buy an Omni card and top up. This is the exact same in London, which makes things so much easier, and I hope all cities eventually get rid of these plastic transport cards that you have to top up, because it's just so inconvenient and just so much easier to use tap to pay. For the subway, you only tap when you enter, you don't tap when you exit, and for buses, you board at the front and then you tap when you get on. A big plus is that there is a fare cap for the week if you use the same payment method for all your rides, so the same card or device. Once you've paid for 12 rides in a 7-day period, you won't be charged for any more rides during that week. That means the cap is currently at $34 for full fare riders, which is amazing and saves you so much money. The key here though is using the same payment method. Sometimes people get screwed because they use the physical card one day and then they use that same card, but that card is on Apple Pay another day, and those do count as two different payment methods. So whatever you did on day one, whether it was tap a physical card or use the Apple Pay version of that card, stick with that for the whole trip. If you tap into the subway and later transfer to a bus or vice versa, bus to subway, the system does recognize that you've paid and is treated as one trip, so you're not charged again, as long as you do transfer within the allowed time window. The subway map can look intimidating, but once you know you're either on a letter line or a number line, and then you know the stop name, you're set. Many stations have multiple lines, so make sure you are double checking the direction, uptown versus downtown, or towards an appropriate borough. And of course, just like any big city, rush hours like 7 to 9 a.m., 5 to 7 p.m. are extremely busy. If you can travel outside of those times, you'll have a more comfortable ride for sure. Now that you know how to get around, let's talk about one of the biggest decisions you'll make: where to stay. New York is made up of 5 boroughs, but most visitors are choosing between Manhattan or Brooklyn since they are the closest to the main tourist attractions. Each area has its own personality, price range, and perks, so let's go ahead and break them down. Manhattan is what most people picture when they think of New York City. Of course, skyscrapers, Broadway, lights, yellow taxis, and endless things to do. It's also the most expensive area, but staying here means you're right in the heart of it all. If you stay in Midtown Manhattan, Manhattan, you'll be walking distance from Times Square, Central Park, and all of the main landmarks. Hotels here are convenient and great for first-timers, but they are definitely pricey. Expect to pay about $250 to $400 a night on average. Downtown Manhattan, which are neighborhoods like Soho, Tribeca, and the Financial District, has a more local feel, cobblestone streets, boutique hotels, and great restaurants. It's still central, but it's a little bit calmer than Midtown, and sometimes you can find better weekend deals. If you're looking for something trendier, check out Chelsea or the Lower East Side. These neighborhoods are packed with bars, art galleries, and cool rooftop views, and they put you just a few subway stops from anywhere else in the city. Just across the East River, you do have Brooklyn, which offers a more relaxed vibe and often a little more space for your money. Neighborhoods like Williamsburg and Dumbo are super popular for their views of the Manhattan skyline, creative energy, and nightlife. You'll find a ton of boutique hotels and cool Airbnbs here, usually starting around $180 to $300 per night, and the L train or the F train gets you into Manhattan in under 15 minutes, so it's still really convenient. Now let's talk about one of the best parts about visiting New York City, the food. From the classic New York style pizza to the rich, creamy New York style cheesecake and everything in between. Here are the must-have foods that you have to have on your trip. We'll start with the classic New York style pizza, and what makes it different from other styles of pizza is that it has a thinner, crispier crust with kind of a softer, chewier center. It's absolutely covered in cheese and cut into really, really big slices, so you're supposed to like fold them when you eat and kind of take it on the go. So it really is the perfect food as you're walking around. You just pop in, grab a dollar slice, and eat it while you keep walking and exploring, because it will save you time and money compared to sitting down at a proper restaurant. Some top ranked spots are Una Pizza Napolitana in the Lower East Side, which serves Neapolitan style pizzas and has been repeatedly ranked among the best in the world. Lombardi's Pizza in Little Italy, which claims the title of America's first pizzeria, established in 1905, and John's of Bleecker Street in the West Village, which always ranks in the top 5 spot on any of the top pizza spots in New York list. Next, the New York bagel. A true New York City bagel is hand rolled, kettle boiled, and then baked, so you get this crisp crust and chewy interior. And you'll see carts all over the street selling bagels, which obviously you can grab one, save a little bit of time and money, or you can check out Essa Bagel in East Midtown, which is a long-standing favorite for many New Yorkers. Tompkins Square Bagels in East Village, known for creative cream cheese flavors like wasabi and birthday cake, and Brooklyn Bagel and Coffee Company, which is a chain, but it is super delicious. Go classic, which is a plain bagel and cream cheese, or make it fancy and with an everything bagel and some smoked salmon on top, whatever you're in the mood for. Next up on the list is one of the most iconic sandwiches you'll find in New York City, the pastrami on rye, and there's no better place to try it than the legendary Katz's Deli on the Lower East Side, founded in 1888. When you go, be prepared for a ritual. You'll get a ticket when you enter, you order at the counter, you eat the sandwich with mustard and maybe a pickle, and you keep your ticket until you pay. And these sandwiches are pricey at $29 a pop, but you can easily share one because they are stuffed with just so much pastrami that it is super filling. And every food list needs a dessert, right? And in New York, that dessert must include cheesecake. One of the most popular spots is Junior's. The original spot that opened in 1950 is in Brooklyn, so if you're over there, it's an absolute must. But there is another location right near Times Square, so that's usually a little bit easier to visit since it's kind of right in the heart of all the other tourist attractions. Their cheesecake is dense, creamy, rich, a perfect ending to a food-filled day in the city. Now, of course, no trip to New York is complete without hitting the city's biggest attractions. You've got Times Square, the bright, buzzing heart of Midtown. It's chaotic, it's loud, and it's totally worth seeing at least once, especially after dark when the lights are just unreal. Then there's Central Park, New York's backyard. You can walk, bike, even rent a rowboat at the boathouse. It's the perfect place to take a breather from the city noise, and fun fact, it's bigger than the entire country of Monaco. Next up, we have the Empire State Building, one of the world's most famous skyscrapers. The views from the 86th and the 102nd floors are absolutely breathtaking, especially around sunset, and of course, you can't leave without seeing the Statue of Liberty. Whether you take the official ferry to Liberty Island or hop on the free Staten Island ferry for skyline views that are just as good. And finally, the Brooklyn Bridge, one of the most iconic walks in the world. Go early in the morning or around sunset for the best light and smaller crowds. If you want to see how to fit all of these landmarks into a smooth, easy to follow itinerary, I actually posted a full 3-day New York City guide last week. It breaks down everything day by day with the best photo ops, food stops, and even a downloadable Google map that you can use on your phone while you're actually in New York exploring. So let's take a look at that video now to help you make the most of your time in this incredible city.